What's up guys, F-Mike here. So you guys asked for it and I made it. If you're looking to get more than 250 million damage in a single game of solo infinite mode without using any kind of DPS units, keep watching the video. Be taking Bulma, a time stop unit like Gojo, Light Yagami, Blackbeard 6-star, and Erwin. If you haven't noticed already, we are not taking any kind of DPS units for this. If you want to take a DPS unit though, you can definitely take one. You'll end up with more damage at the end of the game. To make this guide super simple and easy to follow though, we won't be taking any other units. And we're off. Go ahead, place that Bulma down so you get that extra $50 in the game. And also, when you get her to upgrade level 2 or upgrade level 3, go ahead and place your defense unit down. In our case, it would be Gojo in the back of the map so that he can help defend. If you didn't bring Gojo, you bring Dio or Jotaro, that's okay too. I'll see you guys on wave 13 or wave 12 depending on how you max out your Bulmas. And there it is guys, all maxed out Bulmas by wave 13. Next thing you want to do, place your Light Yagamis behind this house or to the side of the house and start Erwin buffing them with that 200% damage boost. Alright, there's that wave clear. I'm gonna go ahead, delete these Gojos, and I'm gonna boost it really quick. Make sure that you do upgrade it. There's the upgrade right there, and then we're gonna boost it. And check it out for that first death note, 20.7 million damage. Hello Beast Titan, can I take your order? What's that? You want a number 2? Okay, let's go ahead, head to that number 2 death note that we placed down on the field and write his name down. 30.2 million damage for that second death note. Third death note guys for Orochimaru. Let's write his name down though. 33.7 million damage. Now if you guys are wondering why we didn't bring any DPS units, it's because, you know, based on like gameplay that I saw yesterday, I played like 50 public matches. Most people can't, you know, time stop and Erwin buff at the same time. So that's why in this game, we're only going to be doing either time stopping or Erwin buffing. And that's why we didn't bring any DPS units, because you'd have to Erwin buff and then you'd have to time stop at the same time. Most people can't do that. So all we're going to be doing is just spamming Light Yagami. But right now, let's go ahead, write Annie's name down on the screen. Check that out. 38.7 million damage for that fourth death note. We're about to use that fifth death note, guys. Let's go ahead, write some more names down. 45.8 million damage for that fifth death note. And also guys, if you haven't done it already, make sure that auto skip feature is turned on so that these games can turn into like 30-minute games. And we're going to be pushing out a lot of damage, especially on solo mode when you can't find that partner that you need to do that 400 million damage method. Let's go ahead, find that sixth death note, write some more names. Make sure, you know, on the bottom left hand corner of the screen, you see like 107,000 damage. If your Light Yagami is level 80, let's go ahead, write some names, and there it is, 51.7 million damage for that sixth death note. For reference guys, if you don't know, every monster that's in the map, Light Yagami is going to be doing 107,000 damage to each monster if he's level 80. So you can already imagine, if there's 100 monsters on the map, that's 10 million damage for your damage task. Let's go ahead, look for that seventh Light Yagami, write some more names down. We wrote down Minato's name for 65.4 million damage for that seventh death note. We're about on schedule, you know, one death note about 10 mil, so we're almost there. But like I said before, most amount of damage is going to be coming from the end of the game. I don't know how much damage, but yo, we're about to get a ton of damage for those free gems. And you guys already know the best part about doing this method is that it's solo. You can do this anytime you want. You don't have to wait for your partner. You don't have to find a duo. All you have to do is just hop in the game with the right units. I do have that loadout down below. Let's go ahead, write these names down though. 75.2 million damage for that eighth and final death note. For that ninth death note and every death note after, just go back to your old ones and check if the cooldown did reset. You can see the first death note I used in the game, the cooldown did reset. Between waves 30 and 40 guys, go ahead, start placing your Blackbeards in the front of the map right here. You can place all 8 of them in the front right here, or you can place like, you know, 5 or 6 and then spread the rest of them throughout the map to catch those like cloners and decelerate units. But just go ahead and start placing those Blackbeards down between waves 30 to 40. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to start using that 9th death note. We just went back to that first one that just reset, and check it out right there for that 9th death note, 78.4 million damage. Our damage is actually kind of low. I don't know what's going on guys. I'm making sure that I'm Erwin buffing. It's probably because I'm using them a little bit too early. You know, I'm using them on this path. Normally I would use it on this path, but yo, check this out. I only have 76 HP. All right guys, we're gonna be using that 10th death note. We're gonna write young Midoriya's name down. Let's go ahead and do that. 83.3 million damage. And check that out guys, we're on wave 38 now. I have all of those 8 Blackbeards placed down. Some of them, you know, the attack priority is set to last. Some of them are set to first. It doesn't really matter as long as all the enemies are slowed down. So you want to make sure you place all those Blackbeards down between waves 30 to 40. From this point on, just continue to spam those light Yagumis, guys, as soon as the monsters reach either this back path here or this back path here. I believe we're on the 11th light Yagami. Let's go ahead, write some more names down. 92.5 million damage for that 11th light Yagami. Now keep spamming those light Yagamis and those death notes up until wave 46, guys. That's right, make sure you remember that number. Wave 46 is when you want to stop using those death notes. But yeah, on wave 46, there's going to be either 2 or 3 air units that are going to be spawning in. It's going to be RNG. But what you want to do is make sure that you check your light Yagami's like range, and as soon as those air units come inside of a light Yagami's range on the beginning of wave 46, that's when you want to use those final death notes, guys. But yeah, once those air units get into light Yagami's range, go ahead, use like 2 or 3 death notes. It doesn't really matter, they will reset by the end of the game. But go ahead, kill those air units, and then after you kill those air units, you want to go ahead and immediately start time stopping those ground units. All right, guys, so we do have some like air units from like wave 41 coming in, so we're gonna go ahead, get ready to use that 12th death note. 107,000 damage right there. Let's go ahead, write some names down. It's not wave 46 yet, so don't worry, but like I've been talking about, wave 46, those air units gonna come in. That's when you want to pop those final death notes. All right, guys, there's that wave skip notification. I'm gonna go ahead, buff those Irwins, and just wait for those air units that are gonna be coming in on the beginning of wave 46. There they are. Like I said, guys, right on schedule. You want to wait until all those air units come out. There's 3 of them. So go ahead, run back to those light Yagamis. Use like 2 or 3. You know, it just depends on how many you need. And then you can see it right there, guys. Those air units did get killed by 1 light Yagami. Then you just want to, you know, time stop these ground units. Now make sure, guys, before you time stop the ground units, make sure that the slow effect is applied, because if you try to time stop them and you haven't applied that slow effect, the ground units, they won't be able to be slowed anymore. So if you're gonna time stop, just start time stopping at the end of the Blackbeards right here. You did see that I started time stopping around here versus the very front of the map. And then pretty much from this point on, guys, just stop that like first unit. In this case, it's gonna be this decelerate all the way until it gets to the back of the map. But yeah, guys, wave 50 now. All we did was just continue to time stop, you know, that decelerate unit that was in the front of the pack. And it's almost wave 51 now. We're just gonna keep time stopping until they reach the very back path of the map, probably this one leading up to the base. But until then, just continue to time stop. And then when they do reach that back path, go ahead and Irwin buff your lights, and then pretty much use them until you kill like pretty much the front of the enemies right here. You don't want to use all 8 of them just yet. You only want to kill this like front pack. Alright, so depending on how you time stop, guys, I'm gonna probably use like 2 death notes on wave 53. Just check the monster HP. You want to eliminate this whole entire pack. I didn't see any monsters like more than 200,000, but if you have to use 3 or 4, that's okay too. Just go ahead and, you know, continue to time stop until they get to the back. I'm gonna start Irwin buffing because I'm gonna be using them in the next 30 seconds. But like I said, I'm just gonna continue to wait until more monsters come in the map so I can get more damage. So I'll probably use it after about 1, maybe 2 more time stops. You know, the clock is ticking. You already know what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead, time stop right there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use like 2 death notes. So just go ahead, find 2 of them, and then write those names down. You can see it right there. Those enemies did end up getting like deleted. So I'm just gonna continue to time stop. And then you're gonna use those light Yagamis only when necessary, only when they reach that back path. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to use some more death notes. I'm just gonna use like 2, maybe 3. It just depends. I used 3 right there. And just go back to those monsters in like the front of the pack and continue to time stop them. We're gonna wait until light Yagami's like cooldown resets for like the rest of them, and then we're gonna use them at like pretty much the end right here. But yeah, guys, so far so good. We're at 177 million damage. I'm just going through my light Yagamis. We do have 1 available, but we're not going to use it yet. We're going to wait for the other ones to reset their cooldown, and then we're going to end up using them. Just continue to time stop though. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but on wave 46 and the beginning of wave 46, we did use like 1 or 2 death notes. So we should have that one reset by wave 58. It does take about like 12 waves. So just continue to time stop like I've been saying, guys. And then pretty much just wait until the last second when the enemies are going to your base. That's when you want to go ahead and use those final death notes. But all we've been doing is just using death notes pretty much like when they're getting very, very close, and then just continuing to time stop. And there it is, guys, wave 58. The cooldowns for our light Yagami should have reset by now. but we don't need to check or anything like that. We're just gonna continue the time stop until like the most amount of enemies like continue to spawn in the map. And yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that, but the air units from like wave 56, they just came in, and they're pretty much heading to our base right now, but that's okay. Like I've been saying, all we're gonna be doing is just waiting until all the enemies get into the map, and we're gonna use those final death notes. I'm gonna check like how many I have available. I do have one there, so I have 2 available right now, guys. And pretty much I'm just gonna wait until like more monsters come into the back of the map. And there's that time stop right there. Let's go ahead and pop these light Yagumis. We're not waiting any longer. Those air units are getting very, very close to our base. Here is the final light Yagami. I believe I just used it right there. And then go ahead and check that damage. 250 million damage for a solo. No DPS units, just using light Yagami. And dang, that's what I'm talking about, guys. We skipped every single wave of the game and managed to get more than 250 million damage in a solo game of infinite mode. We didn't even have to Irwin buff and time stop at the same time. Everyone, and I mean you, can do this method, and it's super easy. Converted to gems though, if your damage task is at 3 million damage dealt to claim 15 free gems, you would have made over 1,000 free gems in that game. A 30-minute game, guys, that's over 2,500 free gems per hour, almost enough for 1 mega rare pity spin in the banner. If you enjoyed this video, or if this video has helped you out, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. Congratulations to Nathan for winning that free VIP Game Pass last video. If you guys also want a free VIP Game Pass, all you have to do is like the video and comment down below with your Discord tag. Shout out to all of my channel members here, and thank you guys for supporting the channel. When the 10,000 subscriber event rolls around next month, you guys already know who's gonna get some free answers to those Kahoot questions. If you guys also have any other video requests that you want me to do, just comment down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.